y'all. So today I'm going to do a butter pound cake, and I really want to make those white chocolate chip raspberry cookies that I had talked about making in the past. I've got some freeze-dried raspberries that I freeze-dried in the freeze dryer, and they are so good. So I'm going to use those. And then, of course, my husband says he doesn't want those kind of cookies. He wants chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to attempt to also make chocolate chip cookies. I don't know if we'll have enough time. So we'll see. I don't know. But anyway. And I know I don't have any makeup on today. So it is what it is. I've got my oldest chicken, or rooster rather, has what I think is bumblefoot. It's the first time I've ever had to deal with that. So I've already had to deal with him today and soak him in some Epsom salt. The good thing is, though, he really just sits there. I mean, like, he's really good at, he just relaxes and goes to sleep. So he is currently in a tote in the house. But anyway, whatever. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with a cup or 2 sticks of softened butter. And that's going to go in the mixer. And I've had this sitting out since yesterday, so it is super soft. Okay, in the mixer. Ooh, let me get my dish towel. Y'all know I gotta wipe my fingers on something. I can't stand stuff on my fingers. Okay, so 1 cup of butter or 2 sticks of butter is in the mixer. So 1 1/3 cups of sugar, and we're gonna get this fluffing. This has got to have time to cream together and be real fluffy. Okay, so while that's going, I'm going to get our dry ingredients together, and that's going to be, let's see, what does this recipe say? Okay, so that's going to be 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, no, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. So I've got my salt and my baking powder, and I need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to sift that. So let me get my, I do have a crank sifter, but I like doing this. So this is a half a tablespoon, not a teaspoon. Where's my half teaspoon? Half teaspoon. Okay, half teaspoon baking powder, half teaspoon of salt. Half teaspoon. Half teaspoon. Salt never wants to go through there. So. Okay. This has been going for a good couple of minutes. I let my dogs in. They got mud all over the floor because it's rained. That's why my hair is looking crazy too. But I had to mop up all their mud all over the floor. So that's good and ready. Now we're going to add our eggs 1 at a time. And this recipe calls for 4 eggs. One. 2. 3. And 4, 1 at a time. We're going to add our vanilla. It says 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That was probably 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Y'all know I don't measure vanilla. I just pour to my heart's content. We have to add our dry ingredients half at a time. So I'm going to add half of the dry ingredients slowly, and then we're going to add sour cream and milk. So a quarter cup of sour cream and a quarter cup of milk. That's probably half. Quarter cup sour cream. And a quarter cup of milk. Now we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. Now this recipe also says that you can add almond extract, a quarter teaspoon if you have it. I don't have it. I love almond extract, and it would be great if I had some, but I don't have any, so it's okay. So we're adding the rest of our dry ingredients. It says do not over mix. So we're just going to let that go until it's combined. And I'm going to butter my pan here. It says butter your pan, not spray your pan, so we're buttering the pan. And I don't know, but I just do everything with my hands. Nothing a little soap and water can't take care of. Okay, nice and buttery. All right, let's check it out and see. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not. They make these little scraper attachments that go on your whisk. I've seen them advertised somewhere. I don't know, Pinterest or Amazon or somewhere. And they sell them on Amazon. I'm sure they sell them other places too. But anyway, I seen that one day and I thought, why would I ever need that? I have used this twice now and thought, dang, I sure wish I had that little attachment. But that's okay. All right. Hey, this looks pretty. Look at that batter. Doesn't that look so pretty? Just like fluffy. Anyways, I think there's a gnat in here. Okay. And we're going to smooth this out in the pan. That's so good. Okay. So this is going to go in a preheated 350-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour. Or until the cake starts to look really brown on the top. Then you check it. So, oven's preheated. This is going in there. Okay, so while that is cooking, I'm going to clean up this a little bit, put a few things away, and then get our ingredients ready for our next recipe. Okay, so we are going to make our white chocolate chip raspberry cookies. These are like a copycat Subway cookie or something like that. But anyway, we're going to start with 1 cup of butter or 2 sticks of butter. 1, 2 sticks of butter and 6 ounces of softened cream cheese. My cream cheese has not been sitting out as long as my butter, so it may not be as soft, but it's soft enough. And y'all know I'm really tempted to just put the whole block of cream cheese in there because I'm so extra. But I'm not. I'm going to go by the recipe. So let's get this going. Adding 1 cup of sugar to our butter and our cream cheese. We're going to beat this until it's fluffy. And I need 1 large egg yolk. 1 large egg yolk. Let me get the eggshells out. And I don't need this egg white for anything, so I'm going to throw it in my scrap bucket for my sow because she had her piglets a few weeks ago, so I'm trying to give her anything and everything I can actually give her. Okay. Yolk, vanilla, and salt. So after that's good and fluffy, we're going to add our yolk, our vanilla, and our salt. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Do I have my 1/4 teaspoon? No. 1/4 teaspoon. It's looking good. Let me scrape the sides. It is looking fluffy. And as y'all can tell, I didn't wear an apron today. I'd already dripped coffee on my shirt today, so I just figured, what the heck, it didn't matter anyway. So, this we're going to need for our chocolate chip cookies. That was probably over a teaspoon. You know how I go. I can't help myself. Not going to do a full 1/4 teaspoon of salt because I use salted butter. I don't buy unsalted butter. I don't know anybody that really buys unsalted. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that buy unsalted butter. More power to you. That's fine. Do your own thing. But I never buy unsalted butter. Okay. So we've got that done. What's next? Let me see. So 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This was 3 cups of flour for my chocolate chip cookies. But I really need to make the raspberry ones first because they have to be refrigerated. So I'm just going to take out 1/2 cup of this flour and use this. I'm going to put on my little guard before I make a mess. Okay. That smells good. I smell that cream cheese. Okay. Now it says fold in the white chocolate chips and raspberries. You don't add those in with the mixer. Okay, so just plain cookie dough, cream cheese cookie dough. So it's 1 cup. Let's see if I can open these. And one cup of white chocolate chips and 1 cup of freeze-dried raspberries. Okay, so 1 cup of freeze-dried raspberries. We are going to fold these in. Okay, I'm going to put this in a different bowl so I can put it in the fridge. Matter of fact, I'm just going to use this bowl that had my flour in it. Okay. I'm not washing my mixer because I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies too. And I just don't see the point in washing it. Okay, so this dough is going to go in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours. It says 2 hours, but whatever. Okay, so we got our white chocolate chip raspberry cookie dough in the fridge. Our cake is still cooking. But I got to tell y'all what I realized when I made that cake. I had my 3/4 cup measuring cup, not my 1 cup measuring cup, when I scooped the flour. So we probably about a 1/2 cup flour short in that cake. So I don't know what it's going to turn out like. But my cookies are right. So anyway, it was an figure out after kind of thing. It might take a little longer to cook. And that's okay because I'm going to eat it anyway with my strawberries and whipped cream. But anyway, let's make these chocolate chip cookies. So I have 2 sticks of butter. Again. And yes, I'm going to have to buy some more butter after today. So 2 sticks of butter, 1/2 cup of white sugar, and 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. We're going to get that mixing. While that's getting all fluffed up, I've got my 3 cups, and yes, it is 3 cups. I used a real cup measure. So 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And to this, we are going to add a teaspoon of salt. Go a little less, just because I use salted butter. Teaspoon of baking soda. And a tablespoon of cornstarch. Tablespoon cornstarch. Let's give it a little mix. Okay. I scrape my sides. Are you going to work? Okay. You better come give me a hug. Okay. lose. Have a good day at work. Or not at work, better. Okay, butter, sugars. We're going to add our eggs. So 2 eggs. I'm done with this now, so it's going in the sink. And vanilla. It says 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All right, so now we're going to add our dry ingredients. Now we're going to add 2 cups of chocolate chips. And a little extra. Let me check the cake and see where it's at. I don't know if it's going to be done or not. It's a little brown on top, but the toothpick came out clean, so it's been in there for an hour. I went ahead and let it stay the whole hour. So I'm going to set this over here and let it cool in the pan. And then these cookie recipes are supposed to be cooked at 375, so I'm going to turn my oven up and get these cookies scooped out on the pans. Okay, my oven is preheated to 375, so I'm going to get these in there for, let me see, 15 minutes or until the edges are browned. Huh? Okay, good. So I said thanks. Yummy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to let those cool on the pan for just a minute until I can get them onto the cooling racks. Okay, so these have been cooling for just a minute. I'm going to move them to these cooling racks so I can go ahead and get our other cookies in the, or so I can get some more cookie dough in the oven. That is so good. So good. So good. Now I just need an ice cold glass of milk. But I'm not trying to do all that right now. Yummy. Thumbs up. I know they're still warm right now. And of course, that's when they're the best. And they're chewy, so I'm hoping they hold that chewy texture. I got Jesus. I got all that I could ever need. Take the world away from me, and I'll be okay. I got Jesus. There's a hope that's living deep inside, a joy that I could never hide, and a safe place to fall. I got Jesus. I got it all. All right, get my potatoes on the boil. for dinner. Dinner. Sit a little longer. Hey, you want a cookie? Not that one, because I just pulled that one off the pan and it's not cool. But any one of these. Welcome. What you think? It's yummy, huh? Okay, so this cookie dough has not been in the refrigerator for 2 hours, but it's probably been an hour and a half or so. These are the ones I cannot wait to try. Same temperature, 375 for 12 to 18 minutes. So we'll just watch them and see. What is this? This is not a cookie. This is a ball. Well, okay then. Let's try this again. This time, we are going to mash the cookie dough flat. Okay, let's try this. And if this does not work, I don't know where I found this recipe at, but I will not use it again. I feel like it's not a cookie if you have to mash it like that. Let's get these back in the oven and see what they turn out like. It's kind of dry. I'm not sure these are very good cookies. I mean, I'm going to eat them. But I won't make these again. I'm going to have to go find where I got that recipe at. Because it is not a good recipe. They kind of almost taste like I don't know, like a shortbread cookie. How it's kind of dry. I don't know. This is just not what I was expecting at all. A little disappointed, but that's okay. We'll find a new recipe to try next time. Because I'm not giving up on making these. But I will not use that recipe again. Okay, so my potatoes are done cooking. I've got to strain these. So I'm going to get these in the sink. I'm going to turn on my skillet. I've got some pork chops that I'm going to brown up. And then Once I've got the pork chops browned, I'm going to make a cream sauce and put some mushrooms in there. Okay, so I'm going to put about a half a stick of butter, about a half a stick of butter in my pan. And I've got some pork chops here that I have seasoned with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. So I'm just going to brown these up. I'm not going to cook them all the way through. And then I'm going to take them out and put them on my plate. Okay, so I'm going to just throw these in my strainer and strain the water off. Okay, my butter is ready. So my pork chops are going in. So now I'm going to add about a half a stick of butter to that. That's about 2 tablespoons, but I've got some more. And the reason why this has so much butter in it is because I'm going to do a cream sauce in here. So I need that butter as well. And butter just makes everything taste better. That's the real reason. Okay. I'm going to season our potatoes with some salt. And some pepper. And we like lots of black pepper in our house. Okay. So I'm going to get these out of here. They are browned on both sides. Let me throw these onions in here. But they are not cooked all the way through. And of course, it's pork. You want to make sure it's cooked all the way through. Oops, I lost the onion. We'll throw it in there. Put our mushrooms in there. We're going to let those cook down for a few minutes. And while that's going, we're going to add some milk to our cream potatoes. I'm going to taste these and see if they need any more salt. No, they are delicious. These are almost where they need to be, but not quite where I want them. Okay, since our potatoes are done, I'm going to go ahead and get my corn in the skillet. And I've just got some canned corn. I have 1 can of whole corn and 1 can of cream style corn. I'm going to drain the whole corn. Okay. Cream style corn is just going to go in. And then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter to this and turn that on pretty low. Okay, onions are looking good now. All right, push this over to the side. And I'm going to sprinkle just a tiny bit, not a lot, probably a tablespoon, if that, of flour. Not a lot. And I've got a can of evaporated milk. I'm just going to put these pork chops back in the pan. Make sure you pour all your juices back in there. All right, and these are going to go in the oven, which is already hot because I had my cookies cooking in there for about 20 minutes. Okay, turn that off. And we're going to add a little salt. Not too much because my husband will have a fit. And pepper. We're going to let that continue to cook on low for just a little bit. Put our lid on our potatoes to keep them warm. And now I'm going to show y'all these terrible cookies. Y'all look at these cookies. And they're dry. They just crumble. Not my favorite at all. Now these chocolate chip cookies, these are delicious. Definitely make these. Okay. So our dinner is done. Our pork chops were in the oven for about 20 minutes. So this is what they look like when they first come out. And we are just going to get it plated up. You can pick your own mushrooms out. I don't know, it looks like that. And that's dinner. Okay. That's going to about wrap it up for us today. So we made our pound cake, our butter pound cake for tomorrow's dinner. We're going to have some strawberries and whipped cream to top it off to make a strawberry shortcake. We have made our chocolate chip cookies, which were super yummy, the best chocolate chip cookies. We made the white chocolate chip raspberry cookies, which were supposed to be copycat Subway cookies, and they were not the best. So I will not be making that recipe again. We made our smothered pork chops, mashed potatoes, cream corn, and light bread for dinner. So I just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Hallelujah Homestead.